Mist, us seven to the forbidden. Chapter 2.
The human lay unconscious in front of her. A thick rope kept him tied to a tree as a precaution. Eicca approached the stranger and squatted down to better analyze him. His hair was chestnut brown, messy and wet from the rain. The rays of sunlight filtering through the grey clouds allowed the tan of his skin to be noticed clearly. His clothes looked worn, like they had been through 1,000 storms. They were very different from those of hers and her siblings. And of course, the reason was evident to Eicca. The spirits had made the clothes they wore. According to the few memories she had of human civilizations, his seemed to have come from a great city. A core city.
How annoying.
Eicca's image of humans was as bad, if not worse, than the one she had of the spirits. She had very few memories of her life as a human, but from what she could remember, she knew that the people around her back then were horrid. And that made her bitter. That made her angry. The fact they needed to rely on a human to get off the island seemed ridiculous to her. Correction. They knew the island like the back of their hand, and wouldn't need a human to get off of it. They needed the human to guide them once they were off.
Us needing a human? Pathetic. But true. But why this human? Yes, he was definitely skilled enough to have made it to the island alive, but he attacked Venice. Why would he? With what goal? Hell, how did he even get there in the first place, and why?
Her thoughts were cut short.
Ah!
Eicca fell backwards with a thud. The human had regained consciousness and head-butted her.
Eicca!
A very blurry Oneia was running towards her.
What is going on?
She thought, her head spinning.
Of course.
The human was running away. That's what was going on.
I'm fine. Don't let him out of the illusion.
Eicca exclaimed, getting on her feet as best as she could.
What an idiot.
Her head still hurt and her ears were ringing. She saw the human running. He was tripping over himself due to his injury, yet he remained agile. Luckily, Oneia kept him from going far by throwing flare after flare of fire.
Eicca?
She heard Hankio's voice calling for her from behind. He had come out of the cave, probably because he heard Oneia's flames. She chose not to turn around so as not to aggravate the pain in her head. She decided to run towards the human instead. The human was still trying to escape and they needed to knock him out. She knew that her sister could not resist any longer, since she was using a living flame, a type that only came out after the link with the spirits had been temporarily broken. The heat and light of the flames were momentary. They came and went just as quickly. She had to find the perfect opening.
Left, right, down, right, up!
Oneia threw a flame of words and Eicca appeared by surprise from below, knocking the man to the ground.
You bastard!
She slammed him to the ground.
Why did you come here?
Her own voice tore her throat apart.
Why?
The tears started to smolder in her eyes.
Eicca, stop! He's unconscious already.
Oh.
She could still hear her now trapped voice, screaming, demanding to be let out. It burned. The headache wasn't helping. It constantly reminded her of the surprise blow by a sharp pain in her forehead. Sakari walked over to the human, picked him up, and disappeared with him. As Oneia collapsed from the mental strain, Colin caught her. And Eicca succumbed to the headache. Darkness welcomed her with open arms.